Welcome into House of Wrestling, everybody. It's me, Nick Hausman. Come on into the living room, take your shoes off, pet the dog, and hop on the couch because we have a great interview for you here today. You may have seen him on AEW Dark. You may have seen him in New Japan Pro Wrestling. You may have seen him under another name in WWE NXT. It is Vinny Pacifico. Vinny, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Nick, thank you for having me. Very happy to be here.
You are a hustler, my friend. I appreciate that. You are wearing your G Fuel energy drink shirt right now. If you're listening to us, he's drinking it as well.
Always.
Constant G Fueling up there. Talk to me a little bit about this. You are only 24. You do not have a contract. Yeah. How do you land a sponsorship deal with G Fuel?
So Bang was the first energy drink brand to give me a contract. I had this wrestling character that's not really a character, it's me, pretty much dipping into who I really am, and I love energy drinks, so I involved that into my character in wrestling. So I believe real characters, true wrestling, you should probably use some people get away with other things, but if you want to stay true to yourself and you want to use your own character, your own personality, do what you do, you know what I mean? So I love energy drinks. I'm very energetic. So I involved energy drinks into my character. I had a spot I did a wrestling match, and a spot I did in the match that included an energy drink went viral earlier this year. A week later, Bang sent me a contract. I didn't believe it. I was getting gas on the phone with Cheeseburger, and I got emails from Bang Energy. It's the contract, and I was like, "There's no way." I was like, I went to the shop, and I'm looking around shopping, and I looked back at it. I said, let's see if this is real. And it was. They gave me a bunch of the phone numbers and a signature at the bottom. And I was like, this is crazy. So I signed it and started my journey with G Fuel.
Wow.
With Bang.
I was about to say, okay.
And then a few months later, Bang was going through a phase with a lawsuit. So Bang went out, yes. And G Fuel scooped me up immediately, which is cool because I guess people know what I'm doing and see what I'm doing, and it's influential and it's getting out there. So that's how G Fuel got me. And G Fuel has been amazing to me. They have been really enjoying my stuff that I've been doing. And I'm very lucky to have these brands behind me because it just shows that what I'm doing is working in a way, I guess you could say.
Yeah, no, definitely shows that what you're doing is working, and it shows that you're marketable, right? And so when you go to these bigger companies, WWE, AEW, New Japan, do you feel like having this under your belt makes you more like they want you more? Do you feel it helps your brand and when you're going in, or do you feel like it maybe isn't resonating with the bigger companies?
Exactly? It might. I don't know. It might. So I know I did a podcast at Road Dogg. He was very impressed hearing that, but because again, I have not been signed to a company in wrestling yet, and to have two sponsorships that are as big as they are sponsor me is pretty impressive, I would say, and I'm very blessed for that. But I hope that it shows my marketability and that I have something to offer. But I definitely, I believe it shows that I'm marketable, yes, but also it comes with extra work that you need to put in to contain and hold these contracts and make sure you're giving your part of the deal what is needed. You know, because it's tons of work. You know, you constantly got to promote the brand, you got to sell products. Sometimes they had me do commercials. We actually are in talks with doing a Vinny Pacifico t-shirt line because that's something that I'm very excited for because my manager, my G Fuel manager, called me and said, hey, Vinny, we want to include you more because you're really doing a lot of work for us. You're getting a lot of eyes on us in wrestling. So I said, great. How do I get my own drink? Because that's the goal. You know, I've always wanted my own drink can. You know, a Vinny Pacifico drink, that would be insane. I would have my face on here and I have the whole idea.
Yeah.
But they said, listen, getting a can, you're only 2 months in with G Fuel or a month in at the time. Getting a can would be very hard. But none of our athletes or contracted people have a clothing line. You could be our first. Let me talk to the guys and see how that would go through. And they were all for it because they also said wrestling is a very t-shirt driven business. So they were all for it. They were like, this is amazing. They have to design. It's literally my Vinny shirt, my power punch with the fist, but the G Fuel logo behind it and the G Fuel on the side. It's very, very cool. And I am very excited for that to happen. they are currently writing up the contract now for that T-shirt deal to drop, and I don't know when it's going to happen, but I am very excited for it because it's going to be cool.
Well, and it's become more of a trend with wrestlers now, where you have a lot of more successful wrestlers have these outside projects, right? They work with third-party platforms, they do sponsorships just like this. So when it comes to you negotiating or talking to these other bigger companies about maybe working with them, how important is it for you to be able to continue to do this kind of work outside of wrestling? Is it a holdup for you if they say, hey, we'd love to bring you on, but you're going to have to stop doing the G Fuel stuff? I mean, how would you feel about that?
So G Fuel said they'll understand if that came to it. They're supported. They are so supportive of my wrestling career. It's insane. And I am so lucky that they even saw what they saw in me at first. But they said if it came down to that, they would understand. I would understand, but there'd be no bad blood. That's the best part that I could say. I feel like my character with the energy drinks and how I am is just like it's very me. So I would like to always be able to jump to that. But if I got signed to a company and they wanted me to change my character, change whatever they needed to change, I'm for it. That's how this stuff works. You got to do what you got to do. But G Fuel said they'll understand. And how would I feel? I would understand too. Business is business. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, only 24. Like I said, 3 of the big ones already off the list: New Japan, WWE, AEW. Let's chat a little bit about those experiences here, man. Because I think I mostly knew you from the AEW Dark stuff. You had 3 matches for them, and unfortunately didn't pick up any victories there. How did you? Because I know there was like the first match was like 2021, and then you weren't there for like 2 years, and then they brought you back. Why was there such a lag between the appearances like that?
I don't know. I could tell you that. Well, I know COVID did a damage to a lot of people, careers. I'll tell you, when I got booked in 2021 for AEW, I was not in my best shape. I was coming back from COVID. COVID did a number on me. I got sick, gained some weight.
Oh man.
So it did a number on me. It took me a little while to get in the shape I wanted to get in. But I'll tell you, once that COVID thing ended, and I had all these dates set up, I got in the best shape of my life within 2 weeks. So it's doable to get if you gotta get what you gotta get. But like I said, why was it such a lag? I don't know. Maybe they had a lot of things going on that they needed. I didn't try contacting as much as in between, I feel like.
Yeah.
I guess I had other things going on. But prior to AEW, I worked for original ROH quite a lot. And that I feel was my best some of my best work I've done and the most I've learned in wrestling. Because when you as someone so young, I was like 18, 19, maybe 20 on TV for Ring of Honor, you just learn. When you're on TV, you learn better. You learn the audience, you learn TV, you learn the cameras, you learn angles. So it's very important to always be on TV or work TV, I feel like, in my opinion. I love to be very full circle. I want to be able to check off all the boxes. So in terms of like my look, promo, character, being able to work TV, all these things are very important to me. And also, I'm very, very into in-ring wrestling. I love the grappling. I love the grittiness of wrestling. I love technical wrestling.
Fair enough. And wait, you brought up your time with ROH. Do you see an opening there? I don't know what your relationship like is now with Tony. I know that the Dark stuff, like Dark going away, really affected a lot of people that were going to be in that pipeline and maybe doing more stuff with Dark. So I didn't know if that affected you or kind of where the relationship stands now.
I don't know. There's not much of like a relationship yet. I feel like I didn't dip my toes into that. Maybe it's on me. I mean, obviously, I'd love to work for them. Ring of Honor is an amazing place. AEW is an amazing place. I just haven't maybe had the chance to open that. I haven't spoken to anybody. Sure. I haven't like gone up to anybody like Tony or said, hey, like, whatever. But I feel like I think he knows who I am.
Did he give you feedback? Did he have any opinions about your work or no?
No feedback. He's very closed off when you're there, so it's hard to get in contact with him. Like when you're there, it's like he's not really to be found. You just when I was there, I just found my opponent, went over everything, found that's really what that's really how it came down to. It's very you find how do I put this? It's not very open. I feel like sometimes like you can't just like. For me, I feel like at least I didn't want to step on any toes or bother anybody. You know, I was just there doing what I was doing, brought in for the reason I was brought in for, and that's that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to step on any toes. I didn't want to push it forward. I wanted to, do what I was brought in for and just do the job my best of my ability.
So how different is the environment then, or how different was the environment than when you went and worked at WWE NXT? How different were those spaces?
So both AEW and WWE are both amazing places. When I was at NXT, I had such a learning experience because it was just TV. It was just tons of people who were willing to spread their knowledge, willing to just want everyone else to learn what they know. It was so cool. It was an amazing experience. William Regal was there, and I've always had some good talks at Regal. Ace Steel was there. He was cool. Road Dogg was there, of course, So it was a very good experience for me because people I have seen before, people I kind of know. So it was kind of easy just to go in there and kind of like make some conversation, see people and just, do what I got to do. It was a very good experience both times.
And Joe Gacy, man, what a dancing partner to be handed. He's one of my favorites right now. How was it getting to work with Joe?
I love Joe. I've known him for years prior to WWE, and wrestling him was very, very cool. I was very happy to do that. He's great. Great guy, great wrestler. He's a great learner and a great teacher. So someone like that is very good to have on your roster.
It was a weird time because you were there at NXT 2.0, which seems like a fever dream at this point. Like it doesn't even feel like it really happened, right?
Yeah.
Like, how was it? Like, what was the vibe there during that time period, where this weird kind of transition period?
I'll tell you what, it was the chillest vibe.
Yeah,
it was so chill. Everyone was so happy to be there, just positive. Everyone was just so chill. I miss it. I was really cool. It was really fun because I was Leon Ruff was there, and he was very, very motivating to be around. Just such good people, just I love being around good people like AEW, Ring of Honor, NXT. People are just always, when they're there, they're just on, and they're very fun to be around. Some indies you go to, you don't always get that. You don't get guys who are just always happy, always willing to work, always help people get better. I feel like every experience I've had on television, I've been able to feel really good vibes back there. And that's so important in wrestling, I feel.
Yeah, man. Well, and you found yourself at the New Japan All-Star Junior Festival wrestling Goldie, who, if people haven't seen it yet, the Monster Factory show, Goldie was a central character. Yeah, I mean, have you seen it, Vinny? Did you see the show?
I've seen bits. I'm good friends with Danny. I should have seen more, but I've just I don't even watch. I've been so busy. I don't watch movies. I haven't watched much lately. But Danny Cage, who's Monster Factory owner,
right,
is someone I'm very close to. He's a very, very good guy. He's very, very smart, and he's very giving. He's somebody who helped me a lot in my career, and someone I genuinely really like to see whenever I can.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and he did a heck of a job with Goldie. It's nice to see him breaking out. Yeah, big time. Definitely nice to see him doing well. But for you, I believe this was your first New Japan appearance. Am I wrong about that?
Yes, my first time, and thankfully it was. It was so cool. It was right by where I live, so some fans knew me there, which was cool, and a lot of new fans too got to know both of us. It was just such a cool experience because it was Goldie and Danny was there too. So having Danny be able to see me, even though that's his student, that's his kid, Goldie, it was still cool for Danny to see me and have Danny there because Danny has a big influence on my career as well. So it was just really cool to have Danny there and see that. You know what I mean?
Did you feel like you had to change anything up because you were in the New Japan space? Did you have to do anything differently?
A little more wrestling. I'm very, very into my wrestling. I love wrestling. I love grappling. I love chaining. I love technical wrestling. But I don't often always do it every match. I sometimes tend to do a lot of different spots. Like I do. So some matches I have powerhouse matches. Some matches I do comedy. Some matches I do more grappling than others. But that match I wanted to get some really good grappling in and mat wrestling and stuff like that. And hard hitting. I love hard hitting. I love brawling. So that match I got to really do some of that. And that's how I felt. I felt like what I had was what they wanted, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And I feel personally like I added in a little bit of the G Fuel, but it wasn't meant to be a comedy thing. It's meant what it's really meant to do is just be something cool, something different, something to maybe make fans laugh, maybe make fans cheer, you know, something different. But I wouldn't call it a comedy spot. You know what I mean? Like going to the corner, drinking the drink, hooking up, hitting your comeback. I wouldn't consider that a comedy. It can be funny, but it's something different. I wouldn't say comedy.
It's interesting because the other show that's not the Monster Factory, the show Wrestlers on Netflix, which is all about Al Snow, he talks kind of at length about that, where he's like, I carried this head around, and you'd think that it was like this, you know, comedy thing, but he's like, you got to take it seriously. Once you sell it out as like a joke or something like that, it loses its gravity, which is something I guess that happened to him when he was in WWE. So for you, Vinny, what's on the horizon then for you? What are your goals? I mean, obviously you've got experience, you've got the wind at your back, you've got a contract here that's bringing money in. Where do you want to see this thing go, Vinny?
In terms of the energy drinks, I would like to, and G Fuel, I like to take that as far as I can take it. You know, I got that T-shirt deal coming soon, which is very, very cool and very different. I'm very lucky for that. I am going to Japan later this year. Not for New Japan, for a different company, which I'm very lucky about. And I just want to keep being on TV. I want to get a contract. That's my goal, you know, to be on TV all the time and just be able to be a light in professional wrestling and be somebody that people can look up to and just, you know, have good matches, change people's lives, and motivate people.
I love it. Vinny, where can people go to find you, support you, follow you, all those great things?
Twitter, Vinny Pacifico 1. Facebook, Vinny Pacifico. TikTok, Vinny Pacifico. And Instagram, Vinny Pacifico. Pretty simple.